stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Welcome back, everybody, to Voice of the Republic. This is Ed.
Mike.
And Carl.
Hi.
How you guys doing this week?
And Tracy.
Hey, Tracy!
Hey.
Guest star.
See, if you tuned in live, or at least if you tuned into the YouTube channel, you'd see his wife streak by every week.
Yes.
Yes, laundry.
Yeah, I don't mean naked. I just mean she's blurry.
No. For
Yeah.
the
I mean,
listeners,
yes.
totally naked.
Laundry day, nothing clean.
Oh,
Give
what
me
a
your
week.
clothes
What a
and your
week.
bike.
Give me your-
The clothes, give them to me.
It's so funny that this show is about the 80s. I personally feel as though we're from the 80s, and you're obviously from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm
Ed?
definitely a little mood outfit tonight. It seemed
Yeah.
like a good opportunity to break it out. Wear the Wayfarers.
Right, exactly.
Tidy whities, white socks.
There you go.
Slipping and sliding across the floor.
Humping my couch, yes.
Boom. Tracy, this past week, she brought home a bunch of 45 RPM singles that she had growing up, and it was like New Edition, Duran Duran,
Nice.
Wham, Tony Basil. It was like the most. It was like the generic 80s flashback mixtape was all on her 45s. Her parents used to own a bar, so she has a ton of them.
Oh,
Awesome,
nice.
Yeah, so fun. So I've been trying to sell them on
Very
eBay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
The only 45 I ever had was Cheech and Chong, actually.
What'd you have?
It was a Sister Mary Elephant, and what was on the B-side? I think it was I can't remember what was on the B-side, but I remember because I always used to listen to Sister Mary Elephant. Kids, shut up!
That did so much damage. It did so
Oh,
much damage. So much that can't be fixed.
Nah, that's man, I love Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
I stopped at I was so sick of my music. I was at a rest stop and I picked up a Cheech and Chong cassette my last years of college, and yeah, that just I wore it out just driving back and forth from Illinois to Florida. Man, just
Yeah.
never got old. Stuff's amazing.
It's always hilarious, those guys. And they're so universal that even my grandparents like them. They're that funny, it's like
It's
even
very
some
frontal. Very
some
frontal.
racist honkies can dig
Yeah.
it, so
That's hilarious. Racist honkies.
That's awesome.
Can that be our bowling team?
The racist honkies?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
All right, we'll make it so.
We can have all white shirts with a hood.
The logo be the bowling ball with the red cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It's funny. I say that. I'm the one that says that, and I'll get kickback for being a racist. The least racist person I know.
Yeah.
You guys aren't racist either.
All your friends that are black.
All my black friends. I don't really have any black. I don't have any friends.
and
Period.
numbers. Okay.
Right.
They've been on my yacht.
Dude, you look like one of the pricks from one of the pricks from a movie
Yeah.
from I don't know any.
You look like
I'm the rich kid.
You look like
Yes.
the guy that would be trying to his dad would be the one trying to tear down the youth center.
Yeah.
Oh yes, or forcing some girl to go out with you. She obviously doesn't want to, but it's like, you and I, perfect. Homecoming queen.
So we're gonna
It's
tear
meant to
down the
be.
youth center. You still you think you're in love with this loser?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
When-
does this
when
guy
you-
drive a Porsche? I drive a Porsche.
When you going to ditch the zero and get with the hero, Becky?
Exactly, Becky. Oh man. We've got a website,
Segue.
Is this thing on? No, you can come hang out with us and talk more about your favorite 80s dickheads
Mm-hmm.
or any other dickhead you care to discuss at www.vorradio.com. We're there all the time. We got cool people to hang out with. Cool people, not Porsche people.
Yeah, cool meaning cool.
Yeah.
Dude, you know you said 80s dickhead, and the first thing that popped to my mind was Peter North.
Who's that?
Peter North was they called him the decorator in porn. He would.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
He had like this big long pecker that had like a semi-smallish head, and he would come like literally like half a cup. Could you imagine being a girl and you're already playing that whole like and it just keeps coming and coming. You're like, okay, enough. You know, at what point are you just like, he's got a leg up.
You know, if pretty much like 80% of all of his videos end with him going, "Oh my God, really? Oh God, stop!"
Yeah, I'm not into shock porn, like excessive things coming out of people and things. But
And that's the thing is, he wasn't really like he was kind of a mainstream dude too, which was the funniest part about it. Like he wasn't like one of those like fringe like I'm gonna like do strange shit in women's shoes and stuff. I mean,
so he didn't have like a series called like Super Soaker or anything? Or?
Oh, he probably did at some point, but that wasn't really what he's known for.
No,
He was just known for basically banging chicks.
Yeah, he was
a good rep.
Buffed, tanned. He had a real weak chin. Are you familiar with Carl? Do you agree? Like he had like a kind of a turtle thing going.
Yeah.
He was real
Like-
buffed, but you could tell he was buffed because he was probably picked on in school because he looked like a turtle, but real tanned, buffed out, but his joint was like the size of your arm.
Well, that's it. I can see them like. I can see him walking in for the audition. They're like, "Look at this guy." Like, well, you know, he works out. So you work out. You really want to do it? I don't know. I don't know if you're really right for the. Oh, okay. Here, sign this.
Yeah, I kind of think that might have been a big part of it, but I think more a part of it, or maybe even just a latent byproduct of his fame. I don't know. It was I remembered a lot of stuff, and I remember thinking, there must be something wrong with me. Because like that's like the first time I'd ever seen anybody ever do that.
I'm deficient.
So I was like, yeah, it's obvious. There's something wrong with me because I don't do that at all. Like, there's no way.
Well, I remember before I had any experience, I just assumed it just didn't stop. It's just like taking a leak. Like if I can stand there and pee for about 45 seconds, is that how it works? You just like you fill her up, and that increases your chances of conception. Just like wait, no, don't go anywhere. Wait, oh, hold on, wait.
Oh God!
You got a clip for this thing?
Let me tie this off. You just clean up. I'll be right back.
The title for the show could be 80s Sexual Misconceptions.
I don't bump.
Because we didn't have the internet. We didn't know any better.
I know.
All we had is rumor.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show.
I think we talked about the porn in the woods.
Found porn, man. That was our roots. But hey, feel free to also tell us your porn stories, or to tell us to stop telling ours.
Yeah.
Our phone number is 407-409-8749. That's the Republicom.
That was really smooth.
I'm trying.
When you did that, yeah.
I'm trying. Sometimes I'm worried I'm too busy being smooth, and people don't believe what I'm saying. I do want you to call. I want you to tell us about found porn, and not really. But we also have a plain old email service, which is voiceofrep@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know how to use that. That's all. Email.
There you go. Oh, you're playing the role. You're playing that douchey, like, yeah, you know what to do.
I could. You know what to do.
Whatever.
You put your finger in the hole and
Oh, no.
dial. No, that's because you're poor. I take my finger and I put it on my brick phone and I push. So yeah, I'm a pusher. I push numbers. I push your buttons.
Digits.
All right, well, let's go back. So we are creating our time capsule because we're all childless.
Yes.
We're childless experts.
Right.
And we're going to tell you the 80s movies that we feel should be in that time capsule, the must-see movies
Or if
from the
you're
most original decade.
if you're not lucky like us and you have kids, maybe show these to your kids.
Oh yeah, I think absolutely.
You know, I don't want to get us derailed again, but I'm like the worst friend to tell. They're like, "Oh, we're pregnant." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like,
I'm so happy.
I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but my old co-host for Pod, he's having another kid, like my response was like, didn't you figure out what happened the first time? Why did this happen again?
You want
Like,
more of that?
It's not even like congratulations. They're like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm just like, oh, ew.
You love a shit-filled insomnia session? Is that
That's terrible.
that's what you're into?
Oh, you know what's odd about that is my friend John just recently was like, do not have children. He's like, if you almost like your life at any point right now, if you ever have a day where you're lucky enough to go, you know what, this isn't so bad. He's like, don't have children. It's gonna ruin it. And here he's got two. and he's telling me this. You know? So it's like,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
I know he's happy and his children are beautiful and they're awesome and I know he loves them. So just put it out for the record.
there you go. Disclaimer. You got to have the disclaimer.
Yeah, I gotta throw that out there.
But if we did have kids, these are the movies we would show them.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Yes.
Cool. Do we have time to run through our first movie?
Worst part is I don't know if we do.
I'm showing 7 minutes.
All
okay.
right. Let's
Good.
let's
Well, at least start it.
Yeah.
boom. Let's explode. I'll kick it off, and I think this is the penultimate high school movies. No, it is not John Waters. It is Fast Times at Ridgemont High from 1982, and it gave birth to one of the most amazing characters in movie history, Spicoli, played by Sean Penn, the
Right.
ultimate stoner surfer guy. It's an ensemble cast that you never really feel it's about any one person. It has a great way of telling all these different stories and depicting a pretty realistic view of high school life at the time. That is just, it still resonates. It's still endearing. You know, you can still relate to it even all these years after. Not to mention the soundtrack, fantastic.
Oingo Boingo does the song for the closing.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Ooh,
They,
I really
they-
wanna go
goodbye, 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 goodbye,
yeah.
goodbye. That song.
Yeah.
And also, if you need any other reason to watch that movie, Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Now,
boom.
you may be a listener of classic rock, and you may be tired of that, walking in stereo by the cars, but see this movie? It will change. It will change every ride that you're having with your dad in the pickup truck. When that comes on, I'm just saying, it's gonna get imprinted.
I have to tell you, like, I truthfully believe, I think that she, to this day, she's kind of one of those unsung beauties. Like, yes, she was recognized as a beauty back then, but she doesn't have, like, the love today that she deserves. Like, I feel as though she's just probably one of the most angelic faces and bodies, everything, all the way around. And it's like, we all remember Christy Brinkley. I think she destroys Brinkley.
Yeah.
I don't think she's unsung at all. I think she's out of the spotlight, but if you mention Phoebe Cates, everybody's like, oh, well, yeah. Oh.
Like, especially anyone from that era.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel it. The 15-minute button. There we
Sorry.
go.
We can. All right. Do you want to just bust through your two?
Yeah, let's go through it.
I'll go ahead and do mine
Carl.
that probably has the least amount of discussion. So I'm going to switch around my list a little bit. Sticking with comedy, Police Academy.
Awesome.
Like what Airport kind of did for the spoof, like Police Academy kind of started the whole like madcap, like, oh, we're a wacky bunch of guys doing crazy stuff that kind of like went out throughout the 80s.
Totally.
And it spawned like what, 21 sequels?
Yeah. And
So-
most of them, I thought, still pretty funny.
Even without the main cast, like they were at least serviceable. They're at least late night comedy. Like you could watch it on Comedy Central and be like, better than a fucking dick in the eye.
Yeah, but you want to know what? I feel as though with that film, and I've been thinking about that film a lot lately because it sounds like I'm insulting it, but the bar, it intentionally set its bar very, very low and played to it. And as a result, it said, hey, guess what? I know what the audience wants. I know that guys make these jokes and will forever make these jokes, and that's why I think that film, even if I haven't seen it in forever, so this is untested, I'm willing to bet you'll walk in and you'll go, the jokes are still just as campy and good and genuine as they can be, and those archetype characters are still here today.
Yeah, agreed.
They're never going to go away. And the same thing with Ridgemont High. I mean, the Spicoli character, you still got that guy today. He's not exclusive to the 80s.
No, his breed are still walking the earth, so.
And douchebags are still wearing Vans, you know?
Man, what's yours, Mike?
Mine is Short Circuit.
Yes, Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah, I feel as though the what, I don't want to say heartthrob, but what's the word? It's that you feel sorry for it. The sympathetic robot, and the people are so heartless, and he helps a kid, and blah blah blah, and that just like paved the way. Like movies after that, it was like there was kids with robot buddies forever after that, and it's like those should come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, they will probably do a remake. Like we were saying in last week's show, I really have just been calling it the most original decade this whole week because of that show, because it took Johnny Five to start a trend, you know, where it's going to be hard to have a trend like that pop up now. Like there's Wall-E, but no one really started making robot animated movies after that, you know?
Right, but like, look at how much Wall-E looks like Johnny Five.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it put El DeBarge on the map, dude.
Yeah, that's something we can say now and just go across the board. Most of these movies had soundtracks or songs written for them that most of the time they really stood up and they were an integral part of the marketing of these films and their success.
And especially Short Circuit too. I need a hero. And then Johnny Five is alive, and he like gets like the mohawk and everything. And he repairs himself in Radio Shack.
God.
That second one, the second one is a worse movie, but I think it's more even iconic than the first one, just because of all that.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, there's 3 that you guys got to go check out, so you can stop tonight, stop the show, go watch them right now somehow. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow with 3 more for your 80s time capsule.
And Peter North is not in any of them.
No. Or who knows? Maybe he was an extra.
He could have been.
He's an extra, all right.
I know he had an alternate personality, so it could have been in some other films.
Ooh.
Do tell. Maybe next day. Maybe tomorrow.
Cool. Right. Well, until next time, may the Force
be mit.
Mad ass.